Hey, everybody. Good to see you guys. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Tonight's going to be exciting. We are joined by Roger Lidwell. How you doing, man?
Good, good. And yourself?
Good. Thank you very much. Tonight is going to be another touchy subject because it's about the starvation in Gaza. Um, I'm going to just give a disclaimer right now. I'm not saying there aren't any starving children and people in Gaza. There definitely are. Just like every country, there are starving people. I just want to point out some of the propaganda being shown. And I just want to show that there is definitely a narrative pushed that is not fully the truth. That's all I'm going to do tonight. And
Gotcha.
I'm doing this because I care about truth and I care about the people actually starving there. And I want to show you the reasons why they're starving. And so people can get the right information. So, yeah, it's sad. And I do pray that people open their eyes to the propaganda being pushed today. Okay. So, anyway, Roger,
Yes, sir.
what are your thoughts on Hamas?
From what I've researched so far, it just seems like it's just a branch of the Arabian nation so far, and they keep getting brought up a lot whenever
That's
there's
the
something
thing.
happens there. Yeah.
That I got to correct you. Hamas is not part of Arabian nations. They
Oh.
want to claim to be part of the Arabian nations, but the Arabs disown them.
Hmm.
The Arabs are clearly saying they're not part of Arabs because they aren't really.
Well, what I've
Um,
seen is that Yasser Arafat actually funded them back in the '70s, right? So
yeah,
that
the Muslim Brotherhood. The
yeah,
Muslim Brotherhood it's the same brotherhood that started ISIS and Al Qaeda.
all these fringe groups that have been causing all the turmoil in the Middle East, right?
Yeah, and it's sad because
Yasser Arafat actually funded
um,
them. Oh,
it's
sorry.
it's sad because yes, the Muslim Brotherhood creates the Islamic jihadist propaganda. I mean, we read through last night through the charter of Hamas, and well, yeah, you guys saw how long it took and all the BS nonsense that went through there. But
Hmm?
it's sad. But
I
yeah,
think somebody's got to be still got to be funding these things. So don't think who's putting the money into it.
the thing is, Hamas makes their money a lot by getting money through aid as well. And then instead
Hmm.
of using that aid for their people, they use it for something else. Like even when Israel gave them money at a stage, they took that and that's what they used to build tunnels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Um, America gives money. A lot of countries give money. The UK, France, Australia, whoever gives money, instead of using it for the stabilization of Gaza and building a sustainable city, they take the money and they just use it for terrorism, and the rest is given to the leaders of Hamas, who are now billionaires. They're just living in their penthouses, enjoying everything, and then they use the propaganda to play on people's emotions so they can give them more money.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
It's
practically
like a
all it is.
charity organization and a terrorist
It's a
organization.
mafia. It's a mafia.
Hmm?
It's a mafia that plays on people's emotions.
I
But
kind of
yeah,
got that feel from that one, the son of one of the Hamas leaders who was doing the speech. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, his own father is the co-founder of Hamas,
Hmm.
and he's literally got a death warrant on his head from his own father.
Wow.
Yeah,
Quite
quite
a dad.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hassan.
Hmm.
Anyway, we're gonna show some videos, guys. Again, like I'm saying, people are definitely starving. It's not right. It is Hamas that's causing the starvation, and it's sad that the UN is part of that. Who knows why the UN's not actually giving out the aid? But the fact is that they're trying to defend the starvation. I mean, I don't know if you checked the latest headlines today. They actually declared it now as a famine in Gaza. All the while, the UN stockpiles are full of food. They're
I
just
saw
not
those.
distributing it. They're not distributing it whatsoever.
So there's not enough. official famine. Like technically speaking, they just declared one. Is that what this is going on?
They
Because there's
declared
tons of
one
food.
now. Yes, they
Yeah,
declared one now. Um, but UN are not really doing their part to distribute their aid. The GHF, on the other hand, are doing everything they can. And I actually even watched an interview in the week now where a reporter was trying to question the GHF and trying to, had a clear agenda to try and make them look like they are really bad people and they're killing people, but they've never had one casualty on their sites ever since they've given. I mean, they've given a lot of food away, and
good.
yet the UN just don't seem to show giving food.
Yeah, I think I remember back during some of the Cold War, the UN would get involved with some of those countries up in the northern part, Afghan and the rest, and they didn't never did anything they promised.
Yeah, I mean,
They,
where is the UN today in Yemen? I mean, people there are dying every day of starvation. Where is any outrage against the people there? Where's the outrage of the massacres happening in the Congo? Is
yeah,
It's
Congo's
very
bad.
one-sided, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of drug trafficking and diamond trafficking, human trafficking goes through the Congo, and there's a guerrilla militia that runs the place. So,
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Luca, how's it
yep.
going, man?
Hello.
Hey, Lucas.
I'm doing good.
It's good, it's good. Um, so, guys, we're gonna make it. Just want to quickly put this all. The votes so far are Hamas is starving the Gazans. 53% say yes. No, 27%. Who would type in no for Gazans starving from Hamas? Definitely ill-informed people, and not sure 19%. So that's interesting.
From what I
So what are
saw,
your thoughts on Hamas? So Luca, what's your thoughts on Hamas starving the Gazan people?
Okay, so I was one of the people that put not sure because well, I don't know what Hamas is.
Well, Hamas is a terrorist organization that is leading the Gazan people, and they are keeping the food away from their own population and killing them, making sure they don't get it, so they can play a propagandist game to claim that the IDF or America or whoever is keeping the food from them. In the meantime, it's their own people.
Okay, well, yeah, if they're terrorists, then they're obviously the bad guys, I suppose.
Hmm.
So, it, yeah, I mean, the word terrorist is often associated with bad guys. So then,
Yeah,
if they're terrorists, then they're bad guys.
yeah.
So I
Mhm.
suppose,
I think
yeah.
I think let's start off with a video from the GHF first.
All right.
can I say
This
something
is
right
a
quick? From what I remember, Hamas was blocking the trucks from actually getting there. They were
They were actually
hijacking.
hijacking the trucks. Yeah, there's videos of them hijacking the trucks. They're driving it away, and they even show when people were trying to take food from the trucks, they would shoot them. So
Nice.
it is, yeah, quite insane. But anyway, this is GHF. I want to give a shout out to the GHF because they are really doing a good job. They are doing their best to feed the people of Gaza like they can on aid. They, they're trying to stay as neutral as possible as well, and they're getting backlash for this. They're
I
actually getting
imagine.
attacked by people, even by the UN for this.
Well, if you're a natural citizen of Israel, don't you like voluntarily serve there 4 years as you're growing up?
The thing is, as an Israeli, you actually it's part of your civil duty. You
Yeah.
have to be part of the IDF. So
And
yeah. But anyway, let's
before
look at
you
this
before you
video
get
and see.
service,
Yeah. But
sorry.
anyway, let's look at this video and see what he says.
I'm Chabin Faye, spokesperson for the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, and I'm here in Gaza today to give you another update about what's actually happening on the ground. This morning, I was in GHF distribution where we fed hungry desperate people. And now I'm here again in Gaza in front of all of these UN aid trucks where aid is just
Look at all that
sitting
aid.
here out of reach
That's
of the
UN.
people who need it most. But GHF was never designed and never supposed to solve this problem alone. And we cannot solve this problem alone.
Agreed.
That's why, from the very beginning, we pushed hard for the UN to be here in Gaza. But the UN cannot get its food out. The UN cannot deliver this humanitarian aid to the people who need it most.
Look at all
And
that.
I'm not sure what the reason is.
Look at all that aid.
Whether it's looters, safety,
Wow.
or whether they're playing politics, it just doesn't matter. The people of Gaza deserve better.
Yep. I think
And he's a
that
member of the
kind of-
IDF, right? And he's telling
No.
everybody. the people of
No, he's
Gaza.
not a member of the IDF.
Well, I watched a couple of them actually, didn't I? He had a couple of their members come on and testify. The officers, like the girl he had on the other day.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. But we're gonna have a few that we can watch through. I think let's do this one next. This was the 4th of July. And look at this. The GFS, the food distribution center. Look at that. We're getting food, correct?
Yeah.
اليوم تجاوز عدد الطرق الغذائية التي قدمتها الولايات
Look how happy they are.
الأمريكية لشعب غزة الكريم أكثر من مليون فرد غذائي.
They look terrified, you guys.
They're horrified.
Sorry?
They look horrified out of their gourd.
Yeah. And I mean, remember, IDF soldiers are standing around them. They're protecting them, by the way.
Mhm.
The
They were
GHF
even-
works with the IDF for protection, military protection there against
Oh.
Hamas. Because remember, they're in a active war zone. So it's by retrospect that you're going to need someone to protect there. And the IDF protects there. And, well, these people don't look very scared of the IDF. But the story that goes around is the IDF is shooting them as soon as they get food.
I didn't see
Really
anybody
odd.
get shot.
No, and they don't look scared at all, do they?
No, they look hungry.
شكرا للرئيس دونالد ترامب.
I mean, they look happy.
Sorry?
They
They do
look
look happy,
happy to get the
Yeah.
food.
We have distributed 95 million meals. That was on the 4th of July, guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on America, I guess, for giving.
That's just not America. That's
Gaza.
IDF too. It's Israel too. Both.
Israel too.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, good on the people that gave Gaza food. Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
The GHF runs strictly. The GHF runs strictly on. Oh man, sorry, I'm trying to get. The GHF runs strictly on donations, and they go through millions of dollars a day just on food and medical aid. So it's quite a thing. So to see people against the GHF for trying to do this is very sad, because like I said, the innocent people are suffering, and well, they're blaming the wrong people for this.
Well, Dr. Bash just said that they funded Hamas.
That's what he says, but I would like them to actually prove that. Because it's easy to say these things, but is there evidence for this?
Well, let's
Because I
see
hear
if
this
he's
all
got.
the time. Yeah. Dr. Bass, reverse psychologist, if you have any evidence for this, you can come present it. More than happy to show it to everybody. Shot, Derek. Good to see you, man. Okay, so I've got some more. Where is it? Oh, there we go. You can see this, guys?
There, that is a sack of flour that the UN is letting rot in the sun. One of, I gave up trying to count how many hundreds of sacks of flour the UN is letting rot here instead of picking it up and taking it to people who need it inside Gaza. Be skeptical of these international organizations that keep blaming Israel to cover up their own incompetence. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. But as you see here at the Kerem Shalom crossing, plenty of aid that should be going to people inside enemy-held territory in Gaza, and the UN is letting it rot in the sun.
I think that's very clear.
I'll beware of pastors who do charities too, like Exodus. That was horrible. Dude, you don't even dare look at it.
Yeah, and this guy shows another one. This is on a later stage.
This is Gaza. That is Egypt. That is Israel. And this is all the food that Israel has let into Gaza and the UN is letting rot in the sun. Gaza has a food shortage because the Hamas savages who started this war are fighting from inside civilian areas and still holding and torturing and starving hostages under their tunnels. In any other same place in the world, civilians would be allowed to leave. The UN would tell them to walk 1, 2, 3 miles to Egypt, where it could set up stations for them to get food and medical care and anything they need. And this is the only war zone in the world where civilians are told they must remain trapped in a war zone in active combat areas. Why would any humanitarian want civilians to be trapped inside a war zone instead of being allowed to cross the border into Egypt to get safety?
Yeah, quite a good question.
Well, they're not interested in the civilian population. They want to control the government there and the people, right?
Exactly
That's their main goal. Keep them starved and needing. Is what it sounds like. That makes them relevant. If the people got the stuff they need, they wouldn't have to even worry about them. You know?
Yeah. Okay. There's the next one.
Thank you for exposing what the media refuses to cover. Thousands of pallets of humanitarian aid are waiting at the border, food, medicine, water, all ready to go. But the same corrupt UN that is screaming for more aid is the same UN refusing to distribute what is already there. Why? Because if they can't use your outrage to demonize Israel, they simply don't care. If you actually care about children, start demanding accountability from the people blocking aid in Gaza. While the world plays politics, stop using buzzwords like starving children and cheapening these words because it takes away from real children starving in the world like the 5,000 who recently have been unalived in Yemen due to starvation.
Crazy what's going on in
Enough
Yemen.
is enough.
So they died of malnutrition.
Crazy what's going on in Yemen. Hey Derek, what's up, man?
Hey, Derek.
Hey, not much. Just got
Hey.
back home. So, yeah, I'm just joining now.
Well, it's good to see you, man.
Well, likewise. Hope you boys are doing well.
No, we're doing good.
No,
Oh,
good,
good.
good. Got some
Hi.
butthurt people in chat that don't want to accept actual footage. That's weird. I got an exciting one though. This guy's from travelingisrael.com. Definitely well worth it to subscribe to this guy. He's going to show you some restaurants now today in Gaza.
Well, I
Literally-
mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, but the thing is, if there's so much starvation, there's no food. They really got some very nice restaurants here with very high quality food.
Well, I know there is a problem with listening to, well, news sources based in the different countries because obviously you shouldn't always listen to what the news says mostly
I agree.
because obviously the some news sources are going to be biased and
Yes.
only show what is bad about the enemy. You know that this person's
Yeah,
bad.
they have a
but
bias. They have a biased
let's
propaganda.
leave out leave out lots of other stuff that you need to take into account when you need to make a proper decision. That they don't, yeah, they don't really, they paint them in a bad light.
Yes. Yeah, it is that way. But that's usually a
yeah,
media propaganda that works that way.
Yeah, so that's something I agree with. So we might not be getting the full picture of those with just him saying that there's millions of bags of flour that they're letting rot. So that's yeah. We need to know the other side as well.
Yeah. Okay, but let's watch this guy's video. It's quite interesting what he's going to tell you guys.
Instagram took down one of my videos and even put restrictions on my account. The video was about restaurants in Gaza. I uploaded it about a month ago and it hit 600,000 views. No violence, no weapons, no harsh words, no hate. I even said in the video that yes, there is suffering in Gaza. And before I share my opinion, here is the video in fast forward. What are the top 5 restaurants in Gaza? Well, there are a lot of them. But before we dive in, just one quick thing. All the restaurants you are about to see are open right now in summer 2025. This is not satire. It is not AI. Every single clip and image shown here comes directly from the restaurant's own Instagram account, posted in the last 2 days or weeks. Let's get started. Craving pizza? Head to O2. Love chocolate? Try Happy Chocolate. Ice cream? Hamada or pistachio got you covered. Seafood by the Sea, Roma restaurant is open for business. So here is the question. If this is what Gaza looks like in 2025, is that really what famine looks like? Is that really what genocide looks like? Yes, people suffer in Gaza, but Hamas and Western media are selling you a narrative, one that ignores a real famine in Yemen and the real genocide of Christians happening across the Middle East. Here is the truth. Everything you see coming out of Gaza is what Hamas allows you to see. And everything you're not seeing, that's the real story. Want to see the full video with all the proof and links? Comment food below and I will send you the full video. On YouTube, I added all the links to the restaurants. And yes, they go straight to the official Instagram accounts of the restaurants. It is crazy.
I actually checked all these links. They are 100% true. It does go to those actual restaurants, and you can see all the delicious food they make. And this is 2 days ago, by the way, guys. So this is restaurants literally now in the war zone of Gaza in the so-called famine.
Yeah, they look like they were flourishing to me. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to point that out.
Can I ask one question?
The mainstream media never shows you that.
Is Hamas dealing in drugs and weapons for a long time? Are they basically drug lords? Is what I'm pushing out there. That's what I get. I get the feel. Yeah. And people are afraid of it. Well, the Hamas.
They're a mafia. Hamas is a mafia. They're a terrorist organization.
So they probably do deal in drugs and.
Oh, they do everything. They do everything. They have human trafficking. They have drugs-related things. Everything. People just don't want to accept the truth that terrorists don't have your best interests at heart. All they have is their own agendas, and that's what they have. That's their main goal. And if they have to get rid of you for it, they're going to. They don't even care about their own people. And I mean, there's Gazans, Palestinian people that live there that literally don't like Hamas. They don't want them there. They're speaking out about them, but a lot of them are too scared to speak out because they're scared they're going to get unalived.
I get you.
You understand?
Yeah, it's a mafia tactic, man. They don't want to.
Yeah. So yeah,
there are restaurants in Gaza. I showed them, I even added proof with Instagram links, and still my video gets taken down. Totally insane. And what makes it worse is that right after I posted it, it turned out that a lot of those so-called starvation photos in the biggest newspapers, New York Times,
remember
BBC,
these. Remember these. These weren't even actual starvation photos. Half of them weren't even from Gaza. And some of them were taken from children that have disabilities and sicknesses, while the mother or the father is holding them that are obese. How is... Look at this photo, for instance, okay? Why does the mother look so healthy and fed?
Because she's eating.
Yeah, yeah. And the child, he looks very
Uh,
sickly and malnutritioned. Correct.
yeah, you can see his bones.
Now, oh, if you read this, you're like, if there's a starvation, this is a very bad mother. Why is she giving all her food to herself and not to her son? Doesn't make sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Or actually kids
Hugo's
with
got
genetic.
attitude, man. He just said,
Yeah.
"We're on the case. We're going to solve it for all the Palestinians in the world."
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so, dude. We're just reviewing the news and cutting it up for what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Propaganda.
Yep. Exactly. We're just presenting what's there, guys.
Well,
This
yeah,
is all just
I
stage
agree.
pictures.
Sorry.
Yeah, the news is largely propaganda, so you can't really know which side. But I'd say that, like, they're pointing at. It's a bit misleading when they show like a few restaurants open and ice cream stands. Because you're definitely not getting the, like, pointing to a few open restaurants in like Gaza doesn't really disprove famine, right?
The thing is, Gaza's totally closed to the borders for food coming in and out, apparently, okay? How do they get that food to run those restaurants?
It
Good question.
well, define famine. Like what?
Famine is dying of hunger. There's no food to eat. So people are literally dying because there's no food to eat. Yet
Yes.
there's video after video after video after video showing food is there to eat, and video after and video after and video showing that the UN is not distributing food to them, and video after video after video showing Hamas shooting the people when they do take food, and video after video after video after video showing there is restaurants running fully equipped with 5-star food.
Insane. But usually famines follow, the predecessor to that's usually a drought or some kind of plague or some kind that would kill off your livestock. That's usually what starts famine. So
Yeah, but think
this
of
is
it on a
not a real
logical
famine.
point, though. Think of a logical point. Gaza's
Yeah.
borders are closed off. Okay?
Uh-huh.
No one can leave or enter like they want. Now, there's supposed to be no food. How are the restaurants making the food that they're making if there's no food?
I mean,
Yeah,
that could. These could come from a
It has
tiny
to be coming from
minority of
somewhere, that's
Gazans
for
who
sure.
Still have access to food.
It has to come from somewhere. That's the point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not denying that, like, some Gazans do still have access to food, right?
Mhm.
Like, but not the majority of Gazans. have
There's a lot of
access to
people
food.
that can't afford food in Gaza. That's what I'm saying. There are people that are starving. It's correct. That's why they need aid.
Mm.
Okay? Because of Hamas, they've really made food very expensive there. But that's Hamas's fault. It's Hamas charging all this extra tax and on food so they can make more money. Hamas steal the aid that does get distributed if they can, and they resell it for double the price. So what happens is if someone, for instance, buys a pizza for $7, it costs them $14 because the tax is another $7.
Well, that's
Do you
criminal in
understand?
itself.
Yeah, and that's what Hamas does.
I mean, isn't that market value? Like, market value
100% market value.
does increase
Quite
the
a markup.
price by, like, a lot.
It's double the price, Lico. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Literally double the price. Where does that money go to? Where does that tax money go to?
Back into the system, I
Hamas.
suppose.
Goes to Hamas, the terrorist organization that's literally keeping the food from the people.
At gunpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So they're stopping them from getting humanitarian aid from the UN and Israel, and they're doing it at gunpoint, man. and then
Yeah.
they charge them for what they do get.
The UN isn't perfect about famine. Then
The UN
like-
is unfortunately not taking their role seriously and distributing the aid given to them through Israel. Israel is letting it go through there. It's through the borders of Israel. It's there. They just need to distribute it. The UN's not distributing it. They're not giving any reason for it. Instead, they're blaming Israel and saying Israel's not letting it through. But look at all the video footage. We're seeing where it is in Gaza. They just have to literally give it. The UN's not doing their job. Hence why the GHF is on the chopping block, because they are a organization that's neutral. They're not government based.
Well,
So
and
now
it's
they're
like,
actually doing the UN's job for them. So now they're getting bombarded with fake information about them, which we're going to look soon, because they're actually going to address some of those things. Because they're actually feeding the population. It's as if the UN doesn't want the population to be fed.
and
well, it's like the UN is also acting like Israel. Wait, hold on, hold on, Luca.
Specifically responsible for it. The trucks are being denied.
Luca, hold on.
access.
No, okay, but the UN is also acting like Israel needs to like defend them as they distribute the aid.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, the UN in some cases like doesn't want to do it because it's dangerous,
Yep.
and that's Israel's fault too. No, not really.
Yeah. But anyway, let's finish watching this video, because like I said, we're going to look at some more videos. There's a lot of videos to go through.
So they spread fake misery, and when I show the truth, I get censored. And by the way, since I posted that video, even more restaurants have opened in Gaza.
Weird.
Let me show you. Look at Metaco Cafe. Hopefully showing you this won't get me banned again. Maybe Instagram deleted my video because I showed too much chocolate. Maybe there is some secret chocolate limit on videos that I didn't know about. Anyway, I will drop all the links below this video. In fact, I will add dozens of them, restaurants that are active right now in Gaza. And honestly, I don't think in El Fasher in Sudan, where there is a real famine, you would find this much Nutella.
Nope.
And one more thing, I wasn't even allowed to appeal Instagram's decision. I'm pretty sure it was a coordinated campaign by pro-Palestinian activists. Enough people reported it, and Instagram just took it down. What they fear most is the truth. That's why they post pictures of sick children, fake AI images, or recycled photos from Syria and Yemen. And that's why they try to silence me. So please help me spread the truth. Hit like, share this video, and follow me on Instagram too.
Amen.
Thank you all so much for the support. My next video will be about Islamization in the United States.
Quite crazy. And this guy does really, really good stuff, guys. Really well worth it to subscribe to the guy. So yeah, he brought up some very interesting things there. Why would, if it's a famine, will they have restaurants running and new restaurants opening? And it's quite, looks like quite good food as well. Doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, no, it's like, how can you open a restaurant without a food source?
And it's in a famine, apparently. Last time I checked, if there's a famine anywhere, let's take, for instance, Yemen, please try and show me where you're going to find restaurants. Yeah, it's quite crazy. But anyway, this is again the GHF, and they're going to be addressing some straight questions, some falsehoods made about them. I stand firmly with the GHF and everything they do, because they are doing the best they can. They only want the best for the Gazan people. They want to feed the people. And they're doing everything they can. But instead of helping them and praising them for what they're doing, they're getting backlash and telling everybody lies, like they're killing people and they are not giving the food out. The same nonsense that they spread about Israel. Which is sad. Because this is a propaganda game. It's an emotional propaganda that they play with people. And people fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chapin Fay, the spokesperson for the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. The focus of today's briefing will be related to a personnel matter. I want to start by saying that GHF takes any allegation that calls into question the safety, integrity, or conduct of our operations very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
When Tony Aguilar's allegations were brought to our attention, we immediately launched an investigation. When behavior falls short of our standards, we take action. But we also believe in transparency. We felt this briefing was absolutely critical given the falsehoods emanating from a terminated and disgruntled contractor, Mr. Aguilar. We have a responsibility to set the record straight, especially when misinformation risks undermining our life-saving work. And let me be clear, Mr. Aguilar's statements are not only false, they are distracting us from our mandate, which is to feed people. So we will be discussing this here today and then getting back to our essential work. I'd like to start by introducing David Panzer, counsel for UG Solutions, who will be presenting the facts and various pieces of evidence related to Mr. Aguilar's accusations. David?
Thank you, Chapin. I'd also like to be clear. Mr. Aguilar's statements are false, self-interested, and an attempt to seek retribution against UG Solutions. Mr. Aguilar was terminated from his contract with UG Solutions on June 13th, 2025, due to poor performance, volatile conflicts with staff, and erratic behavior. Since termination, Mr. Aguilar has spread a false narrative to media outlets around the world, while at the same time begging UG Solutions to hire him back.
The irony.
Mr. Aguilar's
All
activity.
that. So they let him go because of his behavior and everything he spreads. He spreads false information and then still wants to get taken back. Really?
He needs the either the recognition or the money or whatever. I don't know what he's desperate. It sounds like.
Yeah, that's wow.
In the last several weeks make clear that he's making good on his threats to, in his own words, make UG Solutions, be UG Solutions' worst nightmare if they didn't hire him back. As part of the investigation we launched after Mr. Aguilar made certain accusations, we've compiled written communications in which he's pleading for his job back and at the same time threatening retribution if he's not reinstated.
Wow. So in other words, he's playing almost like a blackmail game. If you don't reinstate me, I'm gonna. But I mean, he's already spreading lies. So what does it say?
These raise substantial questions of motive. We also have evidence that he's falsified documents and he's presented misleading videos to push his false narrative. We advise the media to exercise its due diligence before amplifying the false account of this former contractor. His words require scrutiny. The claims he peddles against GHF and its contractors and about our mission and our work to feed people in Gaza are all defamatory.
Mm-hmm.
GHF and its contractors remind media outlets of the legal and ethical standards associated with publishing false accusations. We reserve all rights in this respect. We'd like to show you some documents that demonstrate that Mr. Aguilar's accusations are materially false. And after this call, we'll be circulating a signed affidavit from members of the UG Solutions team who work directly with Mr. Aguilar, and they refute and contradict Mr. Aguilar's claims. So 4 points. Number 1, Mr. Aguilar claims he resigned from his role at UG Solutions, GHF's security partner. Fact, Mr. Aguilar was fired. On June 13th, Mr. Aguilar was terminated for misconduct. Mr. Aguilar failed to perform basic tasks that were his responsibility. After being terminated, Mr. Aguilar pleaded for his job back. On June 14th, Mr. Aguilar wrote to the company leadership asking them to reconsider and offering to work in any capacity. As late as July 4th, Mr. Aguilar informed UG leadership that he had submitted a new application for work in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote to the company on June 14th, quote, I do not want to leave. I understand that my current contract as the JTOC operator is terminated. Fine, but I can be put on a new contract. If other personnel liking that or not is the fear, then UG is being held hostage. I can be of huge value to this company and contract. Take advantage of me as an asset. Now, Mr. Aguilar threatened UG Solutions with retribution if he wasn't hired back. And so the next day, on July 15th, he wrote that he could be, quote, your best friend or your worst nightmare. Stop effing around, put me back to work, and let's get this mission done.
Wow.
In a June 21st message, Mr. Aguilar cited his personal family needs when begging to be rehired. Mr. Aguilar ended the message with, quote, figure something out or I'm on a plane come Tuesday and the gloves are off.
Wow. Quite heck.
Mr. Aguilar swung.
He seems kind of unhinged, guys. Don't you think?
Yeah, it does sound like. But who is he, and what capacity did he work for this solution group? I'm pretty sure he has political power of some kind or pull, right?
Yeah, but he got fired because of, well, incompetency and look at the way he's talking. He's very unhinged, and he was very, as they say, kind of insane. But anyway, what happened is when he got fired, he started going around having a chip on his shoulder and started making things up about the GHF and making false accusations about them. Almost like trying to get back at them kind of thing.
What's his credibility, though?
I don't think he has any credibility. But the problem is people will still believe him because he worked for the GHF.
Okay.
So
he's an Israeli? Is that who he is?
I don't know if he's Israeli, though. Doesn't really matter. The fact is he worked for the organization and they fired him. He keeps lying about them, saying, no, he left because of things, and he's making things up. And he's, trying to taint their reputation. And people are falling for his batshit crazy claims, which are all just lies, apparently. So that's what they're trying to show, that the guy's just making these things up. Because note that everybody is defending this guy has no actual evidence for anything he's claiming. I haven't seen anything wrong from the GHF, so I don't know what's wrong with the GHF's credibility, other than feeding Gazan people and giving them medical aid. That's all I've seen from the GHF. But
is there a real solution? That's the question, though.
I don't know. It's quite crazy. Let's go on and listen.
Between begging for another chance to work for the company and making these hyperbolic accusations. Mr. Aguilar continued to ask for additional opportunities with the company. Again, as late as July 4th, Mr. Aguilar informed the company leadership that he had submitted a new application to come back to work in Gaza. Despite Mr. Aguilar's many attempts to be rehired, the company held firm. Mr. Aguilar's behavior barred him from further work in a complex environment like Gaza. And as reality sunk in for him, it seems that Mr. Aguilar then became more hostile. Ultimately, Mr. Aguilar has made good on his threat and began to speak to a number of media outlets regarding these false claims. Number 2, Mr. Aguilar was very enthusiastic about his work with UG Solutions. His claims that he raised about GHF operations to his superiors is false. Fact. There are many text messages from Mr. Aguilar praising the work he was doing in Gaza, delivering and distributing humanitarian aid to a starving and displaced population. We'll be projecting many of these up on the screen. On May 28th, Mr. Aguilar distributed a signal message praising UG Solutions, and he said, quote, delivering and distributing 318.3 tons of humanitarian aid to a starving and displaced population. He wrote, sentiment in the media, despite whatever people may think about the politics of the situation, Your presence, meaning UG's presence, GHF's presence, is seen as a good thing. On the same day, Mr. Aguilar wrote to UG Solutions leadership, "This is a very rewarding mission. I'm excited every day." These are the relevant times during which Mr. Aguilar was claiming to have sent a memo to the company raising issues. On May 31, he shared a similar sentiment with his colleagues, and he wrote to them, "Be proud, be humble. You are making a difference in the future of this region and geopolitics around the globe. That's something to hang your hat on at the end of a hard week." On June 10th, Mr. Aguilar sent another message, this time with a picture of a young girl carrying a bag of aid. He wrote, quote, "Hungry, tired, filthy, with a smile on her face. How? Why? Because you've given her hope for a tomorrow, hope that things will improve. Life will get better, a feeling she likely has not known in a long time. You're making a difference every day, every hour, every minute." That's how he was describing the work of these contractors at the time. But while Mr. Aguilar praised UG's success, the company became concerned with his substandard performance and his repeated workplace conflicts. Fact 3. Mr. Aguilar fabricated a memo that he claims he sent on May 28, 2025.
Wow, fabricated.
Fact.
Modified.
We have evidence obtained from the metadata.
There we go. Showing he's modified it. Now, would that be classified as honest?
Nope, it wouldn't.
Wow. That's quite
Slander
crazy.
would be the word I look for.
Mm-hmm.
And I, if I may say to Justin, like during the return of the exiles who were in captivity in Babylon, yeah, they brought those Babylonian teachings with them. And there was actually some historical writings about it from the remnant that was in Israel where they had concerns about it too. They're like, what is this stuff these guys are bringing back, basically? But that does that mean that they were no longer Jews returning from exile? Even if they had different teachings.
Also, they have to understand there's two different Talmuds. There's the
Oh, I know.
Jerusalem Talmud and there's the Babylonian Talmud.
But the point I'm making is that they were still a part of the returning exile.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. They were
yeah,
still
no,
Jews, even if they had, different beliefs, that weren't among them when they were first taken into captivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's sad. People are just writing off God's chosen people just because they don't accept Jesus. Yes, they don't accept Jesus, and that's why we have to show them love in the hopes that they will accept Jesus. Because that's what the Bible teaches us.
Mm-hmm.
Not to hate them and persecute them and throw them away, but to show love. I mean, how else do you minister to people to let them show, to get them to accept Jesus? By showing them love, showing them you care, even through the persecution. Because that's what Jesus teaches us to do, not to hate and throw them away, because then they're not going to have an opportunity to be reconciled and accept Jesus. It literally goes against what Christianity teaches if you just want to throw them away and hate them.
And Justin, I can't defend the killing of any innocent person as a Christian.
Agreed.
And I will never do that.
Cheers, Luca. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah. Good night.
Appreciate you coming, man.
You're welcome. Well, actually, there's one thing I forgot to say before. Can I say it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, there's 3 things that might be going on with the Gaza thing. Well, one is probably that the shops or restaurants are in a tightly packed location where it's like, well,
you can say that this part of Gaza is doing fine, but the rest is like starving because of famine, and well, yeah,
Do you know how big Gaza is, though?
it's tightly packed, right?
It's not very big. Gaza's actually very small.
Yeah, so okay. Well, or I guess the videos could also be staged.
I mean, I can show you videos literally where people are sitting at a restaurant and then they got across the street. They got a little boy told to pick up a piece of, like rocks and stones to put in a pot and act like he's eating while they're filming him. While people are sitting across the street watching them do this while they're eating at a restaurant.
So the videos are staged.
Yeah, some of them are staged, yes.
So there is famine in Gaza.
People are starving in Gaza. Remember, the food's expensive. But also Hamas is keeping the food aid from them. And just like we showed, the UN doesn't want to distribute that food aid. And when the people like the GHF does distribute it, there's lies made about them and telling people that they are shooting the people as soon as they get the aid.
And greetings, Jaden. And right, Keith.
Good to see you, Jaden.
Because the UN basically volunteered to bring in the aid, and Israel opened the doors, okay, here you go.
Take it,
and
just
then they're
take
not.
it. Yeah, it's just sitting there rotting in the sun.
Yes, they are massacring hostages, and so Hamas are definitely guilty because they're doing that stuff. But isn't Israel because
Look, I'm not saying everything Israel does is good and above board. But what I'm saying is, what's wrong is wrong. And if they're blaming the wrong people for something that's not them, I'm going to call it out. You know what I mean?
And it's there are ways both sides are trying to appeal to the heartstrings of everyone else.
Yes, they both have propaganda. That's
Right.
just how it works.
Correct.
They both have propaganda. It's just how it has to work. But the fact is, I'm going to call out a lie for a lie. And if Hamas is winning the war on propaganda at the moment. And
Along
it's sad
with the
because
UN's
Christians are falling. A lot of Christians are falling for the propaganda of Hamas. Hamas doesn't have anybody's well-being in mind at all.
Well, and neither does the UN.
No, apparently not. If you see why they're not giving the aid out.
Well, that's not really the UN's fault, though, is it?
Yes, it is the UN's fault.
I mean,
it's on there. It's in their hands to distribute, but they're not distributing it.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the UN also involved with trying to lock down everyone?
Yes, they were the same ones that setting up the FEMA camps.
And they're somehow the good guys all of a sudden?
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get.
Oh, man. This only happened a few years ago, and people are so quick to forget.
Paul said, I will call out Israeli lies if you can present them. Just come present it. That's all that I need you to do. If you have any lies that they're doing, come present it. Anybody that has anything against Israel, come present. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But notice how you guys just sit in chat saying what we're presenting is lies and false, when literally there's nothing lies or false about what you're presenting.
I mean, Israel controls the borders, right?
Yes, they have to, because after October 7, they had to lock down the borders and protection for their citizens. That's how it works. I mean, let's say you have a house and you don't lock your doors. Someone comes in and they do rampage and really sick things in there. And you get back and then you lock your doors because you don't want them to come in. That's called being logical. You put locks on the door. You change your locks because you don't want them to do it again.
And correct, Glenn, yes. No, Gazans don't fly F-35s. No. Okay. And even if I were to take the argument to an extreme, like let's say Hamas was funded and created by Mossad, I can go that far. But does that mean we should still support them? No. I mean, so it's like, what do we do? That's the question of all questions regarding the scenario. What do we do? Like, there's no clear right side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a difficult thing. But I just find it very sad that people are very, very one-sided on this.
Well,
Right. And
here's
so,
the
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
here's the thing. Yes, the UN is responsible for distributing the food, right?
No. The
But-
UN is responsible for distributing the food.
Yes. so I said
Israel
the UN.
Israel has opened its borders for the UN to be able to distribute the food. Israel has even given, I think what last time I checked, over 200 trucks of food from their own. Okay? They've donated quite a lot of food, but it's just
Israel-
sitting there at the UN ports just to give. They just don't distribute it. Israel can't do much further than saying, hey, UN, here's all the food. Hey, go out and give it to them. But the UN's not giving it to anybody. They're just letting it sit there rot. Now, when someone is actually doing something like the GHF, they're getting attacked for doing what the UN can't.
Well, it's the war or fighting going to allow for safe delivery?
No, of course it's not. It's an active war zone. It's not safety at all. And that's why the IDF is even helping the GHF as military backing. They're standing there and protecting them in case Hamas shows up.
So they can't really deliver the food if it's not safe.
They are. Israel even said they will defend them. They literally post IDF soldiers there to protect them while they get the food.
And Glenn, clearly you have no idea who I am.
No.
You don't have a clue. Dude, if you knew anything about me, you know I am against, like, let's say 9/11 and what happened there, the USS Liberty. Dude, no, you don't have a clue. Shame on you.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You got to read the chat, Luca.
Oh, you're not talking
No, he's
to
trying
me,
to tell me that I take money from my own countrymen and then give it to Israel. Explain how I do that.
Okay,
Well-
let's look at the video.
Guy's a moron.
Yeah.
This is that Aguilar guy we just saw, guys.
Anyway, good night, guys.
Cheers, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Hey, Luca.
bye.
Again.
This is that Aguilar guy we just saw, making those things up, and GHF responding. He is on France 24, speaking out. Let's see what he says.
He wants the world to know what he witnessed in Gaza.
Okay.
Anthony Aguilar, a retired US Army Green Beret, worked as a security subcontractor for the US and Israel-backed firm, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. He's deeply shaken by what he saw. In this exclusive testimony, he reveals untold details about the GHF and its aid delivery plan. Anthony filmed this footage.
Wow, they're standing there letting them take the food. That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Can you see anybody shooting anybody?
No, not now.
In Gaza.
As you can see, we're about 40 meters from the edge of the food line.
I believe that the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is complicit in war crimes and that they are involved in an enterprise that has failed from the beginning.
Anthony Aguilar was hired by UG Solutions, a security subcontractor for the GHF.
There are UG contractors that are in Gaza that are utilizing non-lethal munitions and lethal munitions in unauthorized ways, and people are getting hurt. Palestinians are getting hurt.
Since the end of May, the GHF has opened.
I want to point out, can he show them getting hurt? That's my whole point. Can he show anybody getting hurt?
And Glenn,
And
don't
yes, I
tell
have
me
to
it's
pause every
figurative.
now
That's
and
Those are
then.
made
not.
a literal statement.
Sorry?
Sorry, no, I'm talking to Glenn. He's like, no, he's saying, oh, it's just figurative. After he made a literal statement, he's like, this is what you do, Derek. Now he's saying, oh, it's just figurative. No,
Insane.
go ahead, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Now I'm saying I have to pause now and then because we don't want to get copyright strike. I mean, this is France 24. Okay, it's a news outlet. You know, so.
Opened 4 aid distribution sites, 3 south of the Israeli-controlled Marag corridor. There are 3 incidents that are seared into Anthony's mind. One involved a Palestinian woman who was seeking aid.
A stun grenade was thrown into the crowd directly next to a Palestinian woman who was with the aid box that she had, waiting to put her items into a bag so she could leave. And a UG Solutions contractor threw a stun grenade that detonated, and the metal top of it hit this woman in the head, knocked her unconscious.
Wait. I want to point out. A stun grenade. Everybody's ever used a stun grenade knows it won't be able to knock someone out.
I've never used one personally.
I have. It doesn't knock someone out. And when you throw a stun grenade, you don't throw it up in the air, you throw it on the ground.
Yeah. It's a flash and a smoke.
Yeah, it's a flashbang.
It's supposed to just disorientate, right?
Yeah. So what, the metal pin hit them, or the grenade's not heavy enough to knock someone out, even if you threw it at them hard enough? That is really...
Yeah, I don't think they have shrapnel, do they?
No. This is total nonsense. Okay. And what the hell would they be throwing a stun grenade anyway for in a crowd?
Well,
I
usually
think
to
if they
stop
really
them.
wanted to cause harm, they would shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope he has a video for this. This would be great to see.
She was lifeless. She wasn't moving. She was then loaded on.
You just said she was knocked out. Now you're saying she's lifeless. That means unalived.
I think he's exaggerating.
Yeah. Huh.
To a donkey cart by the other woman that was with her and moved off of the site.
France 24 could not...
Okay. She doesn't look like she's unconscious, though.
No.
Her eyes are open.
independently verify the identity.
Look, she's got her arm on the, leaning against it.
Yeah.
And why aren't the other people
running?
Why are they not dispersed and running and not looking really? I don't know. They're just all doing their thing, picking up their stuff and going.
They're gathering up food, right?
Yeah.
Well,
it's a bit weird. If you get stunned by a stun grenade, you can't even see.
Yeah.
Looks like there's
guys will probably
hanging
be sitting.
around.
They'll probably be sitting on the floor all dazed.
Is that really a donkey pulling that cart?
Yeah, that's a donkey.
That's a little donkey, dude.
This woman or confirm if she was killed. On that day, the Hamas...
Killed by a stun grenade. Do you know what's being said here?
Yeah.
Killed by a stun grenade. People really fall for this nonsense.
I guess. Obviously somebody is.
Controlled Health Ministry reported 27 Palestinians were killed close to the Rafah distribution site. On the 29th of May, at site number 4, Anthony says UG Solutions contractors fired live bullets towards Palestinian civilians.
UG contractors opened fire, and
Wait,
there
you're
was
not showing it. They're in an active war zone, so obviously there's bullets, but you're not showing them shooting at anybody.
catcalling and celebrating it.
What?
Yeah, I think you hit one.
The bullets were being fired by a UG Solutions
Look at these guys. They're just standing there.
Well, you don't
Do
want to
they
get
look
close.
like they're shooting at anybody?
No, they don't.
How do you know this isn't just a voiceover even put there? Because the guys are all just standing there. They don't look like they're even really holding up their arms or anything. They're just looking.
I don't see the distribution site there neither.
No, and this isn't a distribution site either.
contractor in the southern tower of site number 4, a fully automatic machine gun. He was spraying in bursts. And the second shooter was a UG Solutions contractor who was standing on a berm, firing with his individual rifle on fully automatic into the crowd as well. What they characterized as warning shots.
Warnings, okay.
But these shots were being fired at the feet, over the heads, and into the crowd of the departing Palestinians.
UG Solutions says no personnel have ever directed warning shots at civilians, aiming instead upwards in the air and towards the coastline. They say the contractor heard on video was encouraging IDF fire and has been terminated. There are some faces
Okay, interesting.
Anthony will never forget.
A young boy, hard to tell what his age was because of the starvation, maybe 7 years old. No shoes.
Wait, let's go back. Hard to tell because the starvation. Dude, my son is as thin as that. He's not starving.
Well, I think he's going to say he died. That's going to be a face he won't forget.
Most likely.
I know what starvation looks like, and that's
That's
not
not
it.
starvation.
No.
No, that's not starvation.
There's
Wow.
no reason for the starvation
You
to
see,
start
this is
with.
what I'm saying. You can see the guy's literally trying to make up as much false narrative as he can. We saw the messages he had with the GHF in the previous video as well.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a Purple Heart recipient too. Remember, he's wearing the
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know if
Purple
I
Heart.
can trust what he's showing this guy.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I sent
Yeah.
a couple of videos in side
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
of
got
like
it.
Hamas on top of the food trucks with the AK-47s.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of them that go around.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where is it? It's quite a... Hamas hijack humanitarian trucks and they enter Gaza. See how they're sitting on there? And look how fast they're driving, by the way. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
who
speed
knows
up
where
a
they're
bit.
going.
To the tunnels, guys. To the tunnels. Look at those are Hamas. They're literally Hamas people sitting. And there's a... Huh. Now, why aren't the Gazan people getting that food, guys? Look how many trucks there are.
I mean, yeah, they hijacked the whole convoy
Uh-huh.
from the looks of it. Holy cow.
It's quite crazy. There was another one. Okay, let's see. This is from Fox News, though. Okay.
The military has released this video showing today's attempted hijacking of humanitarian aid vehicles meant for Gaza civilians and the elimination of the armed terrorists responsible. Take a look at your screen there.
No. That's the IDF doing this, guys. That's not Hamas.
Yeah.
It's the IDF. IDF definitely don't wear uniforms and they climb on trucks and hijack it so they can send it to tunnels that they don't stay in.
And they use old Soviet AK-47s.
Yeah, because, I mean, Israel doesn't have proper weapons, so they have to rely on old Soviet technology. So crazy. Okay.
The Israel Defense Forces saying it was conducting an operation to secure the humanitarian route when armed militants were seen robbing and attempting to take control of that truck. As the armed militants drove off, drones were used to take out and eliminate them. That information all coming in from the Israel Defense Forces.
How dare Israel use drones to take out terrorists who just hijack trucks? How inhumane is that?
How dare they?
Yeah. It's sad, guys. I mean, I have a lot of Hamas apologists for some reason that come in my chat. I don't know why. Why, if you are a claiming to be a God-fearing person, you'd support such atrocities? It's very sad.
Comes as the war in Gaza nears the one-year mark following the October 7th attack by Hamas on Israel. And as tension between Israel and Hezbollah continues to intensify after this week's electronics explosions that Hezbollah says was Israel's, quote, declaration of war. Still, though, important to note that Israel has not claimed responsibility for those attacks. However, Israel did say that on Friday it killed top Hezbollah commander Ibrahim.
Yeah, this was an old video, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just the news.
Yeah, but it was just to show that, yeah, there's video footage of this. Quite insane. Okay,
Well,
so
I
let's...
watched go ahead.
Sorry, 50 votes so far for Hamas is starving the Gazans. 44% say yes, no 38%.
Okay.
What's wrong with you people? Not sure 18%.
Yeah, I did a stream yesterday on Patrick Lancaster. It's this guy that goes into the Russian side. And he's always constantly getting hate because he's like the only person interviewing Russians. And everybody wants the Western spin on it. And they're like, why are you with the Russians? Why are you with the Russians? And he constantly says in every video, he's like, listen, if somebody's telling you not to look at both sides of the story, then FCK that person. You have a right to come to your own opinion, look at both sides of the story, and come to your own opinion. You don't need to see one side and be like, oh, this is exactly how it is.
I agree. This is actually a very good video as well. I actually watched this same video from someone else. So I'm going to first time watching it with you guys with Sahar TV. Shout out to Sahar. He's doing awesome stuff as well. This is for the GHF showing you a journalist. I think her name's Brooke. She goes into the humanitarian aid and showing what they do. And shows you plainly how relaxed it is and how happy the people are with the GHF. Watch this. It's actually quite good.
Wow, they look so terrified and scared by the IDF soldiers who are literally standing right here. So scared. Wow, and they're like at a shooting position. They're just ready to engage. The BS is crazy, guys. Hi guys, this is Sahar TV with another exciting video. In today's video, we'll get a first look inside the GHF distribution centers in Gaza. Brooke Goldstein went inside the GHF center SCS-3 in the Gaza Strip to show us how the things operate. Let's see if civilians will get shot by the IDF, like the media claims. Let's watch.
We're here in a convoy, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation convoy, about to leave and on our way into Gaza right now. We're in Israel right now.
Yeah, we're still in Israel.
And is that Gaza there on the other side of that wall?
Tiny piece of land in total, and it's, I think, the most densely populated place on planet Earth. So that adds to the complexities and complications when you're trying to bring humanitarian aid into a war zone.
Notice how Israel's letting them through, guys.
We now are communicating.
Did you notice that? Israel let them through to Gaza. Humanitarian aid.
I get
What's being told to everybody? Oh no, Israel stops everybody from breaking aid to anybody in Gaza.
Well, but you're going to get the apologetics saying that they're doing this for publicity, to make Israel look good.
Yeah, but the GHF have nothing to do with Israel other than Israel is helping them get through the borders, and they have the military there to protect them when they give the aid. That's all.
So why don't the UN do this?
Yeah, why don't the UN do this? Exactly. The Israel is very open to help to protect the UN while they give the aid, but they don't want to take it.
Well, it's like the UN has a military itself, and they're not
Yeah.
really using it.
Exactly. Why they're not
Well,
using their
that's
own
what-
military?
that's my point. Yeah, they do have a military convoy they can put anywhere in the world. They have permission to do so. Yeah.
Yep. So
And if I may, real quick, touch on a thought for Jaden, like with Russia, like I mean, like Putin, like he seems to be on board with the Bible, right? And so do so many who are of the Orthodox
Supposedly,
faith.
yeah.
And but I have a question where it's like, why are they also chemtrailing their skies?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not convinced Putin's a Christian. There's supposedly he's got a lot of Freemason, whatever the word is, Freemason symbology around him and his past and all of that.
No, but I get what you're saying, 100%. Yeah, I just, when I see that, I'm like, hold on a minute.
Yeah,
this is kind of crazy because even these people in the war, they said something really that stuck with me. He's like, because he was asking a battalion leader, and he's like, most of all, I hate war, I hate death. I really should be going back home and taking care of my grandchildren and all of that. And I was like, wow. And we're supposed to think these guys are just barbarians. They're out for blood. They want to kill everyone. And this guy's the commander saying, yeah, I hate war and I hate death. It's my least favorite thing about being here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of other sides to a story as well. And people, unfortunately, today don't like to, look at the other side of a story. They always just want to take whatever is to them matching their bias. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, Keith, if you had spoken to me 20 years ago about this whole Israel and Palestine thing, you would have compared me similar to Janos.
Yeah. But you see, the
I'm
problem
not
with
like that
Janusz
anymore.
Yeah, the problem with Janusz is he's fallen for the propaganda.
Well, he's also gone beyond the bounds of scripture. So
Yeah, he's now taken, for instance, Max Inget as like his go-to man. And I mean, he sent me a video today that I watched, and I went through it, and every timestamp he gave me, I literally pointed out to him, these people that are putting this is literally part of Al Jazeera. These people are propaganda. These people did this. You understand? But he wants to present that as a case against Israel. And he doesn't really have a case other than just using propaganda from the other side. You understand? And it's sad.
well, I mean, after that day I left the stream, after being in there for 2.5 hours, I had to go. But so he doubled down that there are no real Jews in Israel.
Yeah, which is weird. How can you claim there are no real Jews in Israel when literally there's always been Jews in Israel, even through the scatterings, through the exiles, there were still Jews living
every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were not all taken captive.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to
But
say,
it's
oh,
sad.
no, they're all fake.
We can only pray for him, though, because he has been deceived. And, God has to work with him.
Well, it's like, I mean, even I said, it's like, even if 99% of those there now are fake, it still doesn't matter because that still does not annul God's word.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And he's not listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Hitting with the IDF and pausing here and waiting for authorization to move so that there's no risk of friendly fire. This is the entrance into the SDS here. And so we just posted online that Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, SDS 3 that we're going to, is going to be open at 9 a.m. And that's how mainly you communicate, through social media and also the two flags. They have a green flag that goes up when it's open and a red flag when the site is closed.
Consistency is very important so that they know what times we're going to be open, and if we can do it at the same time every day, that's what we strive for. Over the past couple of weeks, we've been able to achieve that. I mentioned our humanitarian workers and our local Palestinian workers. They interact with the crowd. The humanitarian's job jobs.
Local Palestinian workers. That's quite cool.
Mm-hmm. I got a question though, right quick. How come the people who make these policies and the politicians that stand up in front of the camera make these decisions that cause this stuff to happen? How come they're never on the ground helping people out themselves? That's always been a
Well,
question.
haven't you realized the people that's usually behind the bullhorn the loudest are the ones that, when they say fight, they stand at the back?
Yeah, they're the cowards. Huh.
Yeah.
To get feedback from the crowd, develop relationships with the aid seekers, and out of that came this idea for a flag system. It was an idea generated by the aid seekers. When the site is closed, you can see a red flag, and you'll see today one of our workers will raise a green flag when it's open, and then everyone can come in.
All right, so I'm standing here amidst boxes and boxes of aid with live IDF fire in the background. You can hear the bombs, you can hear the shooting. We're in the green zone. This food is...
Wow, there's active shooting going on in the background. What's going on? Why are they It's an active military zone, ladies and gentlemen. It's Gaza. The IDF is fighting Hamas as we speak.
About to be distributed. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is here escorting me with private contractors. We have a red flag here, which means we're not open yet. So we're going up now.
Looks kind of peaceful to me so far.
The lookout posts, the security posts here. Walking through the sand outside the barbed wire.
So we're pretty proud of. There's been hundreds of distributions, and not one time has our guys engaged anybody with firearms.
You just heard that.
Yeah.
Not once have they engaged anybody with firearms, and it's been what he said 100 times that they've distributed food. Totally goes against that other guy.
Yeah, the Israeli army's keeping Hamas down so they can do this stuff. That's what the fire is.
Yes. If Hamas isn't there, I mean, if the IDF isn't there to stop Hamas doing this, Hamas would overrun and shoot everybody there. Because there are videos out there that literally, with the UN, when they did let a truck go through, they would literally see Hamas come and shoot the people trying to take the aid off the trucks, which is really sad. So it's good that this is so organized by the GHF. They've organized a good kind of way to distribute their aid.
So this is where they're going to come in. So they're on the other side over there, and then they're all going to come running in when the site's open.
So we have 8 minutes now until the opening of the site. What time is it? 8:45. And so here's where the food is, and we're going to be behind here.
See how they're coming in?
By the way, the fact that they're running to get aid doesn't mean that they're starving. It means that they want to get food before other people.
Yes, before it's finished.
So for the people saying they're running because they're starving, first of all, no, you can't really run if you are starved. And they're running because they want to make sure that they have enough food for themselves and their family.
An organization called Samaritan's Purse that is actively providing aid to any wounded Gazans. And when they are wounded, they feel free. They come right through here, this open area. And now we're ensuring that the people who really need the aid most, who weren't able to come in the initial rush.
Notice how organized it is, and these people with the blue vests, helping, are not doing anything. No one's pointing guns at anyone. You guys see?
It doesn't look like they're too scared, is it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's really scared of anything going on. They look kind of happy that all this is going on because they're getting free food, they're getting medical aid, they're getting help.
Are the guys in blue UN though? That's what I'm going to ask.
I don't know.
That's usually their standard color, blue and white.
But I don't know if those are UN though, because the UN's not really doing anything actually. You know what I mean? They did say they have inside Palestinian helpers. They could be the Palestinian helpers.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know.
Are receiving what they need, and pretty much the longest process of it all.
Wait, Brooke, but they're shooting them at the aid sites. Why aren't you showing that? This method is actually a lot better than what the UN did before the GHF, the GHF was formed in Gaza. This way you can actually make sure that the civilians get the aid and not Hamas. You can actually make sure that people are treated. It's amazing. For some reason, the world wants to close the GHF so desperately. Why is that?
That's the point I want to make, yeah. Why does everybody so against the GHF? Are they not doing good things here? Are they not feeding the hungry? Are they not giving them medical aid?
What I'm seeing so far, yeah, they are.
So it's actually odd.
And no, Justin, you can't say there are real Jews in Israel without Janos saying that you're of the synagogue of Satan.
Yeah, it's an oxymoron.
Yeah. That's the beef we've been having.
Everybody rushed in, took about 10-15 minutes, and now they're going to be distributing aid in the incredible heat for probably about over an hour. You can see here there's a woman and her child, and we've had at least 4 people now being treated.
A child saying Hamas poo? Wow, they will never show you this in the media.
And Justin, you have the link just like the rest of us.
But you see, this child is saying Hamas, he spits on Hamas and calling them donkeys. So I say there's a lot of Palestinians going around that don't like Hamas. Because Hamas aren't for the people.
They
are dictators. They just use them as pawns for propaganda. And it's sad because these people are innocent and they unfortunately suffer because of this.
Right. And that's where I'm at, because I'm concerned about that too. And it's like, well, what are they supposed to do? And I don't have a clear answer.
Yeah, they can't really do anything because if they do speak out about it, most of the time they get unalived for it.
And that's terrible.
Hamas been cut off.
Huh?
Hamas been cut off.
Hamas are a bunch of donkeys and dogs. We do hold back. You'll see.
That is, by the way, the spokesperson of GHF. He was on a few interviews, and yeah, he's been there. So how can interviewers tell this guy that the GHF isn't running smoothly? Look at this.
Sort of not an official women's distribution, but at the end of our regular distributions, we do hold some aid back for women and children.
Your staff is mingling in with the people there. There's a very cordial, friendly interactions. But how do you secure? How do you know that they haven't been infiltrated by Hamas or one of these people as a threat?
It's a risky operation. It is possible that they would do it. It's hard to defeat. You can't have every woman search coming in. It's an impossibility, so it is an inherent risk of the mission.
So you can see these are all women waiting. We've come to after.
I just want to point out, you know why the women are lost? Because women don't have rights in Islam.
And Dick Wayne, it's like my country, the United States, has the power to stop world hunger. Why don't they?
Yeah.
It's a human equation. And
there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of as I said, every government shouldn't really be seen as good people, you know what I mean? They all have their own propagandas and agendas. But that's why I like the GHF and thing, because they are a neutral agency that's just trying to do one job, and that's, give aid to people that need it. We can say thank you to Trump for, America is giving them money and supporting them for this. There are other anonymous donors that also give money, but the donors don't want to be told, because as soon as they say they give money, they get hated for it. So that's why they don't even want to stay anonymous. Don't you think that's sad?
Very.
I looked on the UN website. They have a spot there for donations for this very thing on their site.
Yeah, the UN's taking a lot of donations, but the issue is the UN's not actually giving the distribution out.
They're obviously buying food and goods and bringing them there, but they're not distributing them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Justin, there's a lot of Jewish people in Israel that don't approve of what their government is doing. And that's what we've been saying all along.
Yep.
I remember Anthony Bourdain actually went over to Israel, like pre '99, and he did a show there, and he was in on the strip, and they were doing military exercises. But he interviewed a couple of families that live there on both sides, and they both said that they're tired of this crap. They don't want it happening in their neighborhood. They were fighting then. This is before all this Hamas stuff was going on, and there were still gangs and stuff fighting with each other on the streets for the most part. But their kids have grown up together, Palestinian and Israeli, and they're friends.
Yeah, but like I said, there's 2 million Palestinians living in Israel.
Yeah.
If Israel was so much against Palestine, why would they have 2 million of their citizens in Israel? That's what they're trying to say. Israel is not trying to get against the Gazan people, the Palestinians. They're trying to get rid of Hamas. Hamas are the people that said they would do October 7 every day if they could. We read their charter last night. Hamas's charter is to literally wipe out all the Jews and Christians. Okay, that's what they want. They want world domination. As soon as if they reach their goal of wiping Israel out, then they want to move to the rest of the population. They want domination of all the world. It's literally just an agenda for Islamization. That's all.
Well, I mean, I still can't help but think that there could be an element where it's like Mossad is still propping up Hamas.
Yeah, well, how do we know they're not involved? How do we know the CIA is not involved?
No, we
you know
don't
what I
have any
mean?
way of
Because
knowing
usually,
one way or the other. We have
yeah,
no way of
usually when
knowing.
when you see these wars and things, the CIA is prevalent there. You know what I mean? It's all part of an agenda game.
No, the whole point is we can't take the side of one or the other.
Yeah, there is one thing
I
do.
like that. I'm in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. I can't take one side or the other, but I do take a firm stance against terrorists.
Yeah.
I take a firm stance against Hamas. They call for the killing of people. They call for subjugating the whole world. They call for all of us that stand up for our faith as false. We are all infidels. And I will stand against that. I will. I'm not going to just sit back and say, oh, it's okay, come subjugate us, please. Because I don't want to offend you. No. It's quite crazy. Great news, guys. In South Africa, there's some positive news. The ICE has shut down the right for the Islamic Party in South Africa to be voted for next year.
Oh, that's great.
Because a lot of their things they stand for is based on ISIS ideology. So that's a good start. So let's just hope they don't actually, pay some corrupt politician under the table and get votes somehow in. Because that usually happens, unfortunately. I mean, they're literally fighting at the moment to change street names to Islamic names. And they're not even voted in. It's quite crazy.
Where is this at?
South Africa.
South Africa? To Islamic names. In a country
They're
where
trying to change the street names to Islamic names.
Weird.
There were some government officials that went to Israel recently. They literally went to the police station, this Islamic Party, and placed cases against them for hatred and racism and saying they're supporting genocide. Just because they went to go to Israel. So visiting Israel means you're a genocidal racist. Quite crazy.
Well, I don't know if I want to visit there right now. It don't look like it's a place that looks that safe necessarily.
Actually, there's a lot of people that still go. There's still tours going on and everything there.
Yeah, I've seen their ads. They try to get you to come over to Israel. They're new now, and you can go there.
Yeah, you can still go.
They fly the rainbow flag.
Yeah, it's sad.
Come party in
Israel does unfortunately support like LGBTQ and stuff like that. We can only pray for them. Okay, but let's finish watching this video.
Is over. Hold women and some children back so that they don't get left behind, as the stronger, younger males typically can get in first and pick apart the aid. And this is to ensure nobody gets left behind. Also, elderly or otherwise disabled folks who can't get there in time or can't fight the crowds. And now the aid's been dispersed. You see they've taken every single thing out of the site, the pallets, the cardboard, everything. And now you can see our local workers are out there trying to disperse all the site.
We're having a distribution for the women and the children, which is something very unique about the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. You can see they're delivering sacks right now directly into the hands of the Gaza people. They're extraordinarily appreciative.
But they're starving children and they're starving women. How dare you show this? They're starving them. We're seeing that they're starving them. Oh my God. Shut up. Look at this. This is what the media is trying to hide from you. This is what the media doesn't want you to see. This is what Hamas doesn't want you to see. But it's happening. And people are getting food. And people are getting fed. And people are not starving.
The Gazans that we interviewed had choice words to say about Hamas and everything good to say about America and about the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, and nothing good about Hamas. What's so remarkable here, I'm really just blown away at how peaceful and calm everything is.
Of course it's peaceful and calm. What do you think? Do you think the IDF has any reason to shoot anybody at the aid centers? No, it's just propaganda Hamas wants you to listen to and believe to, so it goes back to the UN distributing the food, so then they can loot the food, just like they looted more than 85% of the aid from the UN trucks, according to UN reports, by the way.
Dignity and respect is between the two groups of people, and really I feel safe and secure, and I hope that's how the women and children feel here too. Today actually is the most amount of women.
Justin says, are you familiar with the Lavon affair? Where is Israel's plan to bomb people and blame it on Arabs? Documented history. Do you defend this? No, I don't know about that. But as far as I know, the Arabs do not accept the Palestinians as Arabs because they understand the Palestinians are not Arabs. If you know anything about the history, you would know Arabs don't accept Palestinians as Arabs.
I've
So
heard of the
I
Levant affair.
don't know why he's bringing up the Arabs. Yes, it's the Levant was a name given to the whole area at a stage.
Yeah.
Of the Arabian Peninsula.
They planted bombs in museums in Egypt and Syria and stuff, and they were in public areas, and they detonated them and tried to paint Egypt and Syria as the bad guys. They did it. So, yeah, they got caught doing that.
Yeah.
That's the Israeli government that did it.
Yep.
They want to start a war between Egypt and Syria.
That the foundation has seen since it started operations. How many women do you think we have here today?
1,000, I would say.
1,000 Gazans right now being fed here in a peaceful and calm manner. It's not the chaos that the media reports it to be.
Quite open. Look how happy they are, guys.
Ah, they look so terrified and scared by the IDF soldiers who are literally standing right here.
I also want to point out.
So scared.
Look at all the children stuff. Do they look malnutrition to you?
Well, none of them look overweight, but they don't look like they're malnourished.
Yeah, they look like they're still getting food.
They got clothes
You know
on
what
too.
I mean? And the
They're not like
pictures that's usually shown is these like children from Yemen, which isn't from Gaza, and they are literally like shriveled up and dying from malnutrition. You see, that's why we're saying there's a lot of propaganda being pushed.
Why don't they help Yemen?
Yeah, why don't they help Yemen? I don't get that either. Thousands of people die a day in Yemen from hunger. There is an actual famine there. And that's Muslim country. They just not doing anything about the people.
Wow, and they're like at a shooting position. They're just ready to engage.
Already using O'Hara. Here's what you get with Pro. Faster general.
Okay.
The BS is crazy, guys.
We are putting food directly into the hands of Gazans, and anyone who is advocating for GHF to shut down is advocating for less aid, less food in the hands of Gazans, and I would meet that with anyone who says that with extreme skepticism and ask them why you want to stop feeding the people of Gaza, why you want them to have less aid, less medical aid. Those are the questions I would ask anyone who wants to shut down what GHF is doing.
We just spent an hour and 35 minutes at the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation food distribution site, SD3, and now we're headed back through the rubble of Gaza to Israel. What was surprising to me really was the level of interaction between the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation people and the local population, and the mutual respect, and how calm everything is and how orderly everything is. And even though there is a lot of security around us, it felt a little bit lax, right? Because that's the whole idea, is that to treat these people with dignity and respect.
Oh wow, look at them! Look at them! They look terrified. They look angry. They look upset. They look scared, mortified.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. They don't look any of that. They look happy. Look at their smiles. Look at the children. Look how happy they are. Why isn't the media talking about this? I forgot they need to villainize Israel and demonize Israel. I forgot.
They
Sorry,
look
guys.
thankful.
And to deliver the food.
Sorry?
I said they look thankful.
Yeah, exactly. They look thankful. That's what it is.
That they need. And so I just want to say how grateful I am to you for having me, for taking me here, for being one of the only civilians that have been let into these feeding facilities, and I'm very proud of you, and I'm proud to be an American today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The IDF is shooting civilians at the GHF center seeking food? Debunked. Honestly, I didn't even think it was going to be this calm, but it was super calm. And that system with the flag,
very clever.
Beautiful. So to the people advocating for the UN to start distributing the food instead of the GHF, you're pretty much advocating for Hamas to get the food again. Because the reason why Israel stopped it is because they wanted to eliminate Hamas from stealing the food and preventing it from the Gazans and preventing real starvation, which is, by the way, allowed according to international law. If a terrorist organization abuses humanitarian aid meant for humanitarian causes, then according to international law, it's perfectly fine to stop it and make sure the civilians get the aid in different ways. Accepted. Thank you, Brooke Goldstein, for this amazing video, giving us an inside look inside the GHF centers in Gaza. Thank you for...
Yeah, quite eye-opening. Sad that I'm still getting people in chat, though, that's saying that's a lie.
Well, it's like Hugo, where that's not his real name. And neither is that his real picture calls me evil. When he's sitting there lying his butt off about who he is, and he can't tell me in scripture where I'm wrong.
Yeah, Hugo said quite a few things in the past few days I disagree with. I can't even put my finger on all of them.
Yeah, I agree.
He's just projecting.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, people are literally against us showing positive things of people getting food. Take that into
all
account.
they want to see is the propaganda, man.
Yeah,
That's it.
They're getting angry that we are showing people getting food, and that they're happy they're getting food, and that they're being positive about the situation. What is that? What's wrong with this people? Why do you get angry about that?
Well, it's like clearly there's some people who are happy about that, who are Gazans.
Mm-hmm. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll be back now.
Let's fill the air, guys. Come on.
I see you're doing a stream tonight, Roger.
Yeah, I am. Let's see, about 11 o'clock or so.
Yeah, it's like 1 for me. 1 a.m.
You're on the East Coast, aren't you?
Yep, East Coast. Sure.
And Justin, it's like, I'm not willfully blind. Like, I mean, I absolutely believe that, like, let's say Hamas is a Mossad organization. Would you disagree with that?
I mean, I think probably, yeah. I think it's controlled
They
off
probably
all the
are.
way.
Just like Al Qaeda, Al CIA, duh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I hate to keep going back to this video, but it was so insightful, surprisingly.
So I got a
He was
question for
interviewing
you
this
guys.
Russian general, and he was saying, basically, I mean, what we're saying, there's these people that are put in power on purpose, and both sides fund the war, and there's somebody making a shit ton of money off of all of this chaos. And it was just weird to hear like a Russian general on the front line basically say that. And I'm like, damn, okay. I mean, you're not far off the mark at all.
No, think about this for a minute, guys. Where do you hear about these organizations from? Who pushes it? Where's the real problem here?
Yeah,
The press.
mainstream.
Yeah. The press push this shit in people's face constantly, and it's always on the. It triggers people. They do it on purpose, and they start these arguments and stuff, and get people fighting amongst themselves, and you have to pick a side.
Yeah, and they never show you the truth of the reality, which there's always a third option. You only get two.
And it's like, I was pro-Palestinian for 20 years. And neither this Hugo fat ass was there, and neither was Glenn.
Well, even from the start of the conflict, I was never pro-Palestine, but I was never pro-Israel either. I just looked at
I'm
it.
evil,
There's
Hugo,
some
based
psyops
on
going
what
on here.
scripture?
I'm gonna stay out of it.
You have screen grabs. By all means, show it. Where you're lying about your name and you're lying about who you are, and I'm the evil one.
Yeah,
What
Hugo, I
a
mean, your track record doesn't look too good the past few days in chat. I'll be honest with you.
Me?
No, Hugo.
Oh, duh.
Yeah, his track record is not too good.
Well, he doesn't have a track record. His whole account is based on a falsehood.
I haven't looked at his account. Does he post?
No, not really.
Oh, okay, good. Thank goodness. Yeah, why don't you start posting the stuff you're talking about there, Hugo?
Yeah, post it on your website, on your YouTube.
No. Like his whole attempt at some kind of fame in this chat is trying to bring me down when I don't lie about who I am or what my name is, when he does both.
Well, he's been going after me since he got here. Since I brought up flat Earth, he got mad.
Yeah.
What? There's flat earthers in here? I'm like, yeah, you're surrounded by like half the people in this room are flat earthers, dude. And he got mad about that. He says, "You're stupid. You're dumb. You're so gullible." Yeah.
Hugo said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's been coming into my chat.
And bless your heart, Hugo. Yes,
I know.
I'm
Well, let me see
sure
him in
that
your-
you wish so much evil upon me. Yes.
Oh, that's
He also told me he didn't have to prove anything in a model or in his claims. So
Yeah, I asked a question like that in chat yesterday. I was like, if I can disprove your little globe model and it doesn't work, right? Why do I then have to present my own model to explain to you how it actually works?
You don't.
I don't have to, dude. Figure it out for yourself. All you need to know is your little globe doesn't work. It's all you need to know.
They make it work with apologetics for the first part, with gravity.
Yeah, or with their debunked globe math, talking about gravity and relativity and all that nonsense. There is no ether, bendy space time, all the nonsense. I love it. It's so
They've
good.
had to apologize for so much stuff over the
Coriolis.
years. Yeah.
And
Yeah, because when I shoot a gun, dude, I'm pulling out my globe model and I'm mapping out I'm charting it out on the globe model before I take the shot.
And no, the truth, that's not true. No, dude, it's like ISIS was like a joint operation between the CIA and Mossad, man.
Yeah, I agree.
For goodness sake.
Well, they went in. They plundered Iraq after it was blown up. And better yet said.
Yeah, I agree with you, Audir. He said the third option is God. That's the only correct option. Pro-Israel, pro-Palestine, all have a bend in God. And I tend to agree with that.
Evil slime ball. Oh, you got a good name. Man.
Evil slime ball.
Or Derek, quit doing evil stuff, dude.
Like what?
I don't know.
Oh, he's getting nasty again. Uh-oh, Derek, don't get nasty.
What?
I don't know. What did he? Hold on, wait, Hugo. Give me an example how Derek's getting nasty, bro. Don't say any sus things, because
he's always saying, "What have I done?"
Well, I already told you what you did, Hugo. That's not your name, and that's not who you are in your profile.
You ask a lot of leading questions like Duffy, Hugo. I've heard you ask some really not fair questions. And
Duffy's
you're trying to get an answer so then you can reply to that and then be like, no, you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's a gotcha moment. That's what you're trying to do. You've done it probably 5-10 times in the chat past 5 days. And then I've heard you call Derek evil so many times, and he's this, he's that. I haven't heard you say a single thing he actually did.
I don't even know who he is. I mean,
he seems to know you very well.
Several Globers kind of have it out for me, I think. Where I have no idea who they are, but they're like, "Oh no, we got some dirt on you, Derek." Where you're acting Jesus or angry. Maybe I've acted angry, but for good reason. Because you're lying about water level. There's no such thing as water level, over a ball.
Glenn Salch, I'm going to have to see that Bible verse, brother, because there's so many people misquoting the Bible in here. Derek probably could be very right. I'm going to be honest. I mean, we got Janushin here saying the Bible tells us to hate Jews. So, obviously, I wouldn't have a problem with him calling him out for that. He said Derek called me a heretic for sharing a Bible verse. So, I'm willing to bet you probably took it out of context. Not Derek, the guy who sent that message. And if not, quote the verse and let's see if you took it out of context or not. Because these are some bold claims, These are some bold claims.
Dishonesty's off the charts. Okay.
God's kingdom will never fade away.
Mr. doesn't give his real name or his real face is telling us that we're dishonest.
Well, he's not going to give an example. I can pretty much guarantee you that.
Well, Flash, would you mind Hugo coming up and just presenting his case against Derek right quick?
Well, that'd be cool. I would love to see that scripture. I really would.
Yeah. Come on, Derek. I mean, Derek. Hugo.
Him.
I'm more than happy to. Like I'm saying, it's an open link for anybody in chat. But the problem is the people just want to insult and play, victim inside chat, but they're not man enough to come in and defend their position. So what can I do? I can take a camel to a watering hole, but I can't make the camel drink. You know what I mean?
Well, you can always go, "Whoa, camel, whoa!"
Right.
Time to drink. Jeez, Well, we'll wait for him, see if he comes and give him a minute.
Glenn, I don't know what you're talking about with Genesis 1:26, man. I would not call you a heretic for believing that.
Well, what does Genesis 1:26 say? There you go. He's got a Bible right there. He's going to read it.
Should I put Genesis?
And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." I don't understand how I claimed you're a heretic by quoting that.
Okay, so and God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." Yeah, that's what he says. What's that got to do with anything?
He said, "Why not use the word them?" And
He
then
says
he said them
not
in all
refer
caps.
to creation as plural. No, it doesn't refer to creation as plural.
But it does regard God as plural.
Yes, Elohim. It's Elohim.
Let us.
Yeah.
Make man in our image. It's Elohim.
That's right.
Remember, God is three persons as one God. But that's not creation as plural. That's total nonsense.
I gave him an open invitation to come on in, Hugo. Dude, he wanted to come on my show. So, I mean, now would be a good time. You can come on my stream
You
tonight.
got a half an hour before we close off, so it gives you a half an hour to come state your case.
Glenn, how did I deflect? I don't understand.
I don't know. I think at the moment he's just arguing to argue, to be honest.
I know.
Okay.
I get that with Hugo as well, because he keeps saying lies and all this,
Yeah.
but he hasn't really made a case at all.
He called me a liar because I said I was raising $35,000 to go to Antarctica. That was the actual cost that Duffy was charging, right? And I tacked on like an extra $5,000 just for a cushion. He said, "Well, you're lying." I'm like trying to figure out how I lied about anything. Then he tells me I lied that Duffy said he was going to take me with him, and he would put his my GoFundMe on TFE's YouTube page. He did say that, and I have the receipts to prove this. But he's telling me that I'm lying about it. I don't. Constantly, everything I say is just a lie, and Hugo keeps going on about it. I caught you in another lie. I caught you in another lie. I'm like, what lie, dude? That's all you can do is point fingers, sit and chat. If you got a problem, come in and talk to me. I'm not going to dodge a lie. I'll answer your questions, and I can actually present video evidence. Who proved me to be a liar again?
Hey, True Few, how's it going?
What's up? What's up?
Hey,
True Few, man.
And can I respond to Glenn one more time? It's like he said, I suggested God made more than one man, and you called me a heretic. I didn't call you a heretic. I said it's heretical. No, because that's not in Scripture where God made more than one Adam and Eve.
Yo, True Few, you left a comment in chat and you said globe equals Jesus. What did that mean?
We need apologetics for both. You know, you gotta work your way around and make yourself believe it.
Okay, but do you think the globe and Jesus are on the same level? Because when you put an equal sign, that's like
you gotta stretch your words to make yourself believe both, right? The globe and the Jesus story. You know, like I'll go over just one
confused.
instance. Okay, let's go over one instance in the New Testament, right? So let's just talk about Jesus' birth.
Okay.
So where did Jesus go after he was born?
You're talking about Egypt. He's talking about Egypt, is what he's talking about. They fled to Egypt from Herod.
Well, Luke never mentioned Egypt.
Bethlehem. That's why he was born in Bethlehem, because he fled Herod.
Where did he go after he was born?
Egypt.
He went to Egypt. Why doesn't the book of Luke mention him going to Egypt? He went to Jerusalem, got baptized, and then went back to Nazareth. But the book of Matthew says he went to Egypt.
Yeah.
So like, why did Luke? So why did Luke not?
Why does Luke have to state that? It's a different author. Same story.
So he just totally forgot about having to go to Egypt?
No. Why does he have to state it? He doesn't have to say it because it's already known.
It's already known.
Yeah.
That's a totally contradiction in what happened in the story.
No contradiction at all.
Matthew's saying he fled to Egypt.
True.
It's like Jesus came back after going to Egypt.
Yeah. So
what are you talking about, man?
The stories in Matthew and Luke contradict majorly.
They don't contradict at all.
That's just one point.
No,
one point. Matthew says he goes to Egypt.
So
and Luke,
and then he came back.
Travel around from Bethlehem, Nazareth, and Jerusalem. They never go to Egypt. After he gets baptized, they go back to Nazareth. Why in that time of all the moving around that she did while she was pregnant, riding the camel?
Stoned.
You're getting mad about this? Like, this is true.
No, you are.
It's in the
you know
scripture.
Egypt is Egypt is right on the border there.
But why didn't Luke mention it?
Because he doesn't need to. Why does he need to
need
mention
to.
it?
He does because Matthew mentioned it. Though they're two different people, they don't know. And then so why? Okay, all right. So when was he born?
Why
when was he born? When was he born?
Why does he have to mention it?
Because it's part of the prophecy in Micah 5:2. Right?
Luke was
it doesn't follow. You won't follow the prophecy if you just have the book of Luke.
Later. Why should he have to mention it
Well,
when
it's a
he
good
wasn't
thing we
around?
don't just have the book of Luke, isn't it?
Yeah.
What?
You said you won't follow the prophecy if all you have is Luke. Well, that's not all we have.
There's only 2 books that involve the birth of Jesus, Matthew and Luke.
Okay, and one does specify. So there you go.
Well, we have the one specifies he went to Egypt. The other that never says anything about it, and it's a prophecy. Luke never mentioned the prophecy.
So,
like,
he wasn't
when
right.
you want to talk
Matthew?
about Jesus is the prophet from the Old Testament, you say Micah 5:2, but it's only mentioned in the book of Matthew. And then let's go. You want to talk about the in the book of Matthew, the genealogy? Matthew only brings up 42 generations to Abraham. Book of Luke, 54 generations to Abraham. So we're wrong there. What else do you want to do on this? The birth and all the contradictions. When was Jesus born? What year?
Thank you, Roger Little, for your $2 super chat. He says, "You go come on the show and show when I lied." Yeah, that'll be something. Thank you for the super chat, man. You rock.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And he's still sitting out there saying, I'm lying. Like, what is wrong with you, dude? Seriously.
He's just trolling you, man.
I know. Mental.
Yeah.
and I can guess that this guy doesn't have any personal testimony with Jesus Christ, does he?
No.
Have you?
I haven't heard him talk about it.
None.
You talk to Jesus like Paul and Joseph Smith?
No.
the Mormons?
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about you.
Well, Joseph Smith's a little different there, buddy.
What he's the same as Paul? He talked to a freaking angel of Jesus in a freaking hallucination.
Well, true few. Wait. True few. I verbally talk to Jesus because that's how praying works.
Maybe I'm not praying hard enough.
That's how praying works.
Well, you don't have any personal
It
testimony.
seems like you're
do you?
against the Bible, so I don't know. Maybe you should start with accepting the word of God
the
first.
Bible, when I get just to Jesus' birth, I have all these.
Well, you came in talking about the Jews and Palestinians and all of that, but you're not even like fully a Christian, so I don't understand how you even have a ground to stand on and talk about it in the first place.
Why you just giving labels?
Now it makes sense why you're saying these heretical things in side chat the past few days, just like Janusz, is because you have very little faith, if not none. It sounds like you're against the Bible, and I'm not trying to, maybe you do, maybe I don't know, but
you're gonna attack me over the information.
I'm not attacking you. I'm saying you basically saying the Bible's contradicting itself and the Bible's wrong, and that the prophecy must not have been fulfilled because they both didn't say it. That's heretical, bro. You can't come in and say, oh, well, I'm against the Bible.
If it's a prophecy,
and then you want to talk about who the real Jews are, God's chosen people, et cetera, et cetera. You don't even read the Bible. You don't even agree with it. You think it's full of corruption. I just don't see how you're in a position to speak on any of those things, given the fact that you think the Bible's full of contradictions.
Speak on any of those things, or what are you? Are you like some anointed person?
I am not perfect at all, but I don't think the Bible has contradictions. No,
I don't see.
You don't right here. So when was Jesus born? Let's keep going. When was Jesus born?
No, so you just want to.
He's the most famous person on this, in this whole realm. When was he born? We should know this.
No, what's your testimony?
What's my testimony?
Yes.
My
testimony. Are you a Christian? Are you actually a Christian?
I don't think he is.
Dude,
you're just a
dude.
joke.
I grew up in fucking South Dakota. It's fucking heavy Catholic here and Lutheran. Okay. So I grew up in
you're
shit
Catholic
all around
Lutheran,
me.
But yet you're sitting there scrutinizing
but you're
scripture.
not though, right? I don't want to sit here and say, "Oh, you're not a Christian." Tell me what you are, bro.
Oh man. It's crazy.
It doesn't matter
It's
what
crazy.
you were raised as.
I just
gotta believe on faith. I just gotta believe on faith, right? Just like the globe. I gotta believe in the faith. You gotta believe in faith in the globe. And
you literally have no testimony worth talking about. That's why you don't bring it up.
I just want to ask True Few, though, what does it matter when Jesus was born? I mean, it was the time of Herod, so that made it maybe between the
time of Herod?
Yeah,
well, that's what the book of Matthew says, but the book of Luke says the rule of Quirinus, which is 10 years in difference.
The centering of the time of Quirinus, governor of Syria.
Yeah, that was 6 AD when he came into rule. That's when he came in. And then we did the census.
So that was the census.
King Harold, he died in 4 BC. So even before that, Jesus was born. There's a 10-year period in there between their two ruling times.
Most likely 5 BC then.
and Harold was dead, or he was alive. But then
when Jesus was born.
But Luke says he was born during the rule of Tyrannus.
No, there was a census.
But that's when he was born, because that's why they had to go from. That's why they had to go from they had to go from Nazareth to Bethlehem for the census, which doesn't make sense because the census usually goes for where you live, not for where your ancestors came from. You know, it doesn't make any sense. That's why she had to ride on the camel, you know, for whatever, how long to go to fucking Nazareth. You should go read this. Go read this. Go read those 2 books.
Rode on a donkey.
Or whatever. Donkey, camel. Still, she had to go for the census. Which Matthew never mentioned. He never mentioned anything about the census. He never mentioned the killing of the firstborn. Luke never did. I think that'd be, you know, a big thing to talk about. Why, you know, why they had to go. That's why you don't mention it, because they never mentions that they had to go to.
Well, I'm reading up. It says that there's evidence suggesting that there was an early administrative census of around 64 BC.
Were you reading this? It's not like something I've came up with.
I found a good link
like,
on
this
it. I
has
put it
been
in
talked
chat.
about for the longest. This isn't like I just figured this out. These are questions the church have had for the problems they've had for the longest time.
I think this is pretty well explained here in the last paragraph. It says, what we see rather are differences arising from the standards by which Matthew chooses to include information not given by Luke and vice versa. And that's what we've been telling you this whole time.
No, here's the problem. Here's what the real problem is. The problem is they have that prophecy from Micah 5:2 about the Messiah coming out of freaking Nazareth or Bethlehem, and they didn't have it, so Matt had to make the whole thing about him going to Egypt and everything. That they just needed to add that book.
Okay, because yeah, it says, of course, solutions have been proposed of this conundrum. Some argue that Josephus, not Luke, could have been mistaken about the date of Quirinius, which is also true. Others suggested Quirinius might have been a governor twice, once in 4 BC and again in 6 AD6. N.T. Wright recently suggests a simple solution. The proposition protos in Luke 2.2 is best translated before rather than first, making the translation read, this census took place before the time and when Quirinius was governor of Syria. So there are actual arguments to argue for why it could be that way, not showing a contradiction.
So that's apologetics right there. You know what I mean?
That's apologetic. Yes, you wanted an answer. Now we've given you 4 different reasons why it could be that way. So it doesn't exactly mean a contradiction.
The prophecy. Why would Luke not mention the prophecy? Like,
why does he need to mention a prophecy? That's not his target of what he's writing about.
Well, what is Luke writes a different. Was a converted Luke writes it. Yeah. He wasn't among the 12 disciples.
Exactly.
In the beginning, you freaking asshat.
Oh man.
He was after. Now the thing is, remember, they write their own testimonies on what they are trying to get to a targeted audience.
Oh,
it's
so
the same when we were
not true.
It's the same when we were trying to explain this to
Greg
the other night with Paul on the road to Damascus.
Not truth, though.
It was exactly the same.
It's all about a story for an audience, right? Exactly.
Yeah, if you're saying an audience for a specific audience, if you're saying a story to a specific audience, you're not gonna convey it the same as another audience.
We're just working for pushing a religion across borders to control.
No, you're pushing your own religion that isn't scriptural. That's why you're.
I'm not.
In other words,
you're pushing your own belief.
I'm not
All we're
pushing a
getting, in
belief.
other
AKA
words,
your own
I'm just
religion.
pointing out the contradictions in the Bible.
all we're getting
You're
is we
only
give you
exposing
answers.
your own contradictions.
We're giving
How is
you an
that?
answer.
It's like
You don't
it's
have
not
a
my
testimony
contradiction.
worth
This has been
considering.
debated for
True few.
years, dude.
Wait, true few. We've
You
given
you
you
just
answers.
found it on a website, and you want to say it's my
You asked
shit,
me.
man? Shut the fuck up.
You asked me for a citation, so I went and got your citation, and I gave you
Oh yeah,
four different
you're
answers.
fine, Flax. It's the
I
fuck
gave
me.
you four different answers, but what you did is your whole argument is no, I don't accept it. That's not a rebuttal.
You didn't rebut anything I said.
I gave you four logical reasons.
Well, maybe that
You're
the
a
rule of
reprobate.
fairness was
I
480.
gave you
Is
four
what you
logical
gave me.
reasons. I gave you four logical reasons, which shows why it's not a contradiction. You
The
haven't
only
given a
reason I really
rebuttal.
got from
You haven't given a rebuttal to any of them other than saying, "Nah, I don't accept it."
Look, all I have is the New Testament and the contradictions that
It's
are
not a
blatant.
contradiction. We showed you how it's not a contradiction.
And the obvious, like, leaving out of the prophecy, the book and Jesus is all about prophecy, and Luke forgets it. All the 25 or whatever 100 manuscripts.
When did Luke write Luke? Wait, when was Luke written?
Dude, it's hard. Does anybody know? Well, most of the scriptures are written in like 900 AD, so like they're not even really that
900.
valuable.
Revelation,
Most of the scriptures
Revelation
are
was
written that
written in
late.
95 AD.
Well, yeah, maybe, man, maybe.
Not maybe, it was written in 95 AD because that's when John of Patmos was exiled on Patmos.
It's like 50-60% of the scriptures are written after 900 AD.
No, none of them were written after
Yes, they
900
are.
AD. The Bible was complete before Muhammad's time, and Muhammad came 600 years after Jesus. How did the Council of Nicaea able to How did the Council of Nicaea able to make canon in 300 AD if the Bible's only written in 900 AD?
He left, didn't he?
Yes, he left.
Yeah, he booted.
What a joke.
Probably for the better. This was going to just go in circles the whole time.
Well, it's
anyway.
like he has no personal testimony of Jesus Christ or being saved by him, but yet he wants to be an authority on what Scripture says about it.
Yeah, but I mean,
no
he's ignorant.
personal
He's
testimony
ignorant
at all.
Yeah, but he's ignorant to what the scriptures are actually saying and how it's said. So now he wants to take his biased interpretation and say, well, the Bible's contradicting itself when there's no contradiction. It doesn't make sense. So, truth you again, how does the Bible get compiled with the Council of Nicaea in 300 AD if the Bible's only written in 900 AD?
I'd say the entire Bible was written in 900 AD, but I'm saying the majority of the scriptures, a majority of the rewritten scriptures.
The canon was
I can't remember which.
The canon was set in 300 AD. That's
Yeah, but
300 years before Islam.
Okay.
No, not
the canon was written in
most of the Bible, most of the Gospels were written before 70 AD. Most of them.
Well, bring this up and show it.
What you're gonna say?
Just bring it up. No,
Okay.
I want you to show me the evidence. Because I can go online and find other evidence.
Literally, everybody knows that.
Everybody knows this.
Oh yeah, that the Quran was written after the Bible. Yeah.
Yeah, way after 600 years.
Oh, yeah,
actually, even later than 600 years because Muhammad actually died before the Quran.
I'm not even a Muslim, so I don't really care about Islam.
So what is the problem then?
I'm talking about the New Testament with Jesus. I don't really care about Islam. I'm not Muslim. If you fucking Muslims, I'm like.
Well, you're not a Christian.
15,000 miles away from me, man. I live around Catholics and Lutherans and fucking right in the middle of a Christian nation. And then I look at the book, and I'm at
In
Jesus'
Christianity-
birth, and I see all these contradictions just at the birth.
Okay, in Christianity, a gospel is generally one of the 4 canonical books of the New Testament that describes the miraculous birth, life, ministry, and crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. These books are gospels according to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, written between 65 and 100 CE. So that's AD. Way, way, way before what you're claiming. 800 years, in fact, before what you're claiming.
Of all the scriptures, they're all rewritten. There's all the scriptures that they have. Most of them were rewritten in the year after
No, there was
900
no
AD.
rewritten. Wait,
Yes,
wait,
we
wait.
have
Rewritten.
documents. We have scripture
Wait,
from
wait.
60 AD. But they have been rewritten. There's added verses. I can't remember which book has the verse 16 that was never in the original. That just stops at
Have you seen
them running away from the tomb when Jesus when the women run away from the tomb.
manuscripts? True few. Have you seen the manuscripts?
Wait, have you?
Yes, the original manuscripts don't show what you're saying.
That goes on.
The
after
only
that.
forgeries came later on, like with the Book of Barnabas and things in the Middle Ages, where they tried to add things.
Most texts are Middle Age, not ancient.
No, those weren't Middle Ages.
900.
Again, the Bible.
Bro,
was
900
written-
is just way off the mark, dude. Where are you getting this from?
You're 800 years off, man. You're literally 800 years off the mark.
I mean, maybe some non-canon.
There are few texts from that time, yes.
Are you talking about the...
Oh my word. The ignorance. It's astounding.
Yeah, it's astounding. You believe that Luke didn't write about him going to Egypt, a prophecy. It's astounding.
You are literally ignorant to everything you're presenting.
You're ignorant to everything I'm presenting.
And you're Dunning-Kruger because you think you are right.
Because you think you're right.
No.
Supposedly,
I
know
forgot
to mention the prophecy of
No.
Egypt.
Because you don't have a
Thank
personal
you.
testimony of Jesus Christ. That means you're not an authority of Jesus Christ.
Luke's an authority of Jesus Christ?
No.
Oh, shit. So what the fuck we arguing about?
No, why are you arguing?
Well, you guys believe this shit, man. Just saying.
No, I don't believe you.
You don't believe me that I'm just talking about Luke and
Yeah,
Mark
no,
now?
you're just talking out of your ass.
How? Did I make up that
story.
in Matthew the angel talks to Joseph, but in Luke the angel talks to Mary?
Testimony
Did I
at
make
all.
that up?
And you want to
Talking
talk
out
about
my
the
ass?
Savior.
But the Savior's book, Jesus may have been a real person, but the story we're given doesn't work.
Yes, it does.
The most important
You're just not
person
saved
in
yet.
the world wouldn't have a book that's so
That's why you
fucked
sit
up
there
with
and rail against
contradictions, man.
God's own word. Like, oh, this doesn't make sense.
It's just like the
No,
ball.
you don't make sense. You're not saved.
Never said I was
not a
saved,
Christian,
man. I've
dude.
never talked to Jesus. I've never talked to God. I've tried.
Dude,
I've prayed.
and you're not saved.
Maybe I'm not praying hard enough. I'll try harder tonight. I will fucking try.
Well, I think you should first accept God's word as true. I think that'll be a good basis.
Maybe today, after being berated by you for Jesus will come tonight
that
like,
won't
hey,
do it either.
you tried hard enough, man. Now I'll talk to you.
No, it's not a matter of trying. It's a matter of
What
being
is it?
broken. And you're not. And you never
not
have
broken.
been. Not
Dude,
yet.
How do you don't even know me to say I've been broken or not, man? So,
Dude, you don't have a
I don't know
testimony
you either, so I'm not making any like personal
at all.
Just keep
You
attacking.
don't have
Not
a
very
testimony being saved, so I know you're not broken.
Okay, so what about my ancestors who are like
No,
the
no,
Native
no,
Americans?
No, it's not about your ancestors.
I'm not
It's
like
about you.
If we look at with Luke,
But my
when you were saying-
ancestors
when you were
definitely
saying
had
the
no
angel-
idea about Jesus, and they
So when-
suffered greatly.
The truth, if we look at Luke, okay, when the angel Gabriel appears to Mary, okay, he's announcing to her that she will be conceive Jesus through the Holy Spirit. Okay, we accept it.
Yep.
When it comes to Matthew, Joseph has already learned about Mary getting pregnant. So an angel appears to him in a dream to tell him Mary's child is from the Holy Spirit and that he should obey the Lord. You understand?
Yeah, but just
That's what
each
it is
book.
in Matthew.
Each book fails to mention both stories like that. You know what I mean?
Again,
It's just,
the audience is different. They're saying
what
a
is
different
what kind of what's the
story.
difference? So who's Matthew writing to? Who's Luke writing to?
Again, it's the same story.
You know,
but
who's the
written
audience?
from
Who's the audience?
Written
Then?
from
You said the audience.
written in a different context, in a different time from a different person.
So is Matthew writing for the Jews?
Let me give you another. Let me give you another.
And Luke's
idea.
writing for the
Let's
Gentiles.
say,
Is that what's going on, or?
Truth, let's put it this way. Let's say all 5 of us go to an event. We see the same event taking place, but we're all going to explain that same event differently because it is based on how the person interprets that event. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Hence, Matthew doesn't have to write exactly the same as Luke. Luke doesn't have to write exactly the same as Matthew. Then they don't have to have Matthew or Luke both in the Bible, because if it's just a copy and paste, what's the use?
Yeah, but the craziness is like there's 3 of us standing, we see a car crash. The event is we all saw the car crash. We all kind of have the same story about the car crash.
They still have the same
but
story.
This story is like one of us saying, I saw a car coming down, and then the guy up next guy's like, I saw a plane coming down. Like,
no, there's
it's
no
that different.
I don't agree with that.
Like it's that different, man. The
Let's
failure
put it this way.
to mention the prophecy.
Let's put it this way. We see the car crash. 3 people see the car crash. One will say, I saw the car coming down at 60 miles an hour. The other one will say, I realized there was a flat tire. The other one will say, oh, well, I saw someone in the driver's seat falling asleep. They said this. They don't say exactly the same thing, but what's the altogether? The car crashed. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's how it is with Matthew and Luke.
You got to throw in the
saying the same story, but Matthew is concentrating specifically on Joseph, where Luke is concentrating specifically on Mary.
So would Joseph go to Egypt by himself, or
no?
Because according to Luke, they stayed in Israel, Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Nazareth. They stayed in them areas, according to Luke, with Mary. So then Matthew wrote about Joseph going to Egypt and hanging out there till homeboy died. So, that's getting the story a little way different. And then what Luke never mentions, the killing of the babies. Like there's no even record of that happening. So like nothing besides the scriptures. So that's just the book of Matthew too.
Again, he's not concentrating on that aspect of the story.
But
He's
There's no other evidence of that.
He's conveying a certain message.
None. There's no evidence of that.
Okay, you know what? Truth. How about tomorrow night we hold an open debate about the contradictions you want to bring up? How's that?
Yep,
you're gonna get your ass kicked. Truth, you.
Oh,
and you deserve it.
Oh, I deserve it.
Okay, but anyway, guys,
you do.
I appreciate you all coming. It was a great stream. I hope people looked at the evidence from an unbiased position and realized we still need to pray for everybody, even the people that are being deceived and the people that are doing the deceiving. So, people are suffering, and it's a sad thing to see. And we should just hold on to God's word and, let God take over and pray. That's all we can really do. So I appreciate you guys.
You're just a liar.
Sorry?
Would Jesus call me a liar?
No, I'm talking to Hugo. He says, I don't drink. No, but he's a habitual liar.
Yeah, Hugo, we don't really need to.
You gotta quit giving labels, man, like that, dude. Just be chill.
Is that his name?
Not that serious, man.
Is that his name or is that his face? No.
Yeah, it's a nobody, man. You're getting mad about a nobody.
So what innocence can he claim?
What are you getting mad about, man? It's like a child yelling at you. Are you gonna get mad about a child talking shit?
Well, it's the same reason I don't get angry at your lying ass.
Get over it. I'm not lying.
Yeah,
Where did I lie? Where did I lie?
Where did
Point
you
out where I
lie?
lied.
about being an authority about Scripture.
I'm not an authority about Scripture.
You're
Never said I
definitely
was.
not, and so don't ever pretend to be.
I never pretended to be.
Okay. Anyway, so we'll have that open debate tomorrow for Bible
You have
contradiction.
no testimony worth speaking of because you don't have one.
He dropped again. You see, the thing is, he
What a
doesn't have the Holy
joke.
Spirit, so he's not able
Yeah,
to, discern what it actually means or what it says. He just sees it in an unbiased spirit, and he's blinded to it. Then you see what I'm saying? But it's fine. Tomorrow night we'll have that contradiction Bible open night debate, and we can explain to him every contradiction that he thinks is a contradiction, because there are explanations for everything he brings up.
Right.
So yeah, it's sad, but it's great having you guys on. You guys have any closing statements to make?
Yeah, it's been an enlightening stream so far, Mr. Flats.
It's been a good stream. Yeah.
It was nice and chill.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mostly.
Right up till the end.
Except I just want to point out, guys, I don't really read the chat that much because of all the negativity and things that's always going there. People seem to just really make threats and attack me for no reason, just because they don't like me bringing truth. So if I don't read out your things, just know it's not really intentional. It's just I'm trying to stay as much out of the negativity as possible. And yeah.
Well, it's like this Hugo guy. I also have no idea who he is. And he's like, "Oh, you're evil, Derek."
Mm-hmm.
What is he basing that on? Well, he's sitting there giving a fake name and a fake profile, calling me evil.
But yeah, it's good to have you guys here. Appreciate everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Make sure to share the show. Hit the likes if you haven't already. And I pray blessings upon everyone. And I appreciate everybody who supports this channel. Till tomorrow. Blessings,
Bless
guys.
you, man. All right, take care. God bless.
Night, everybody.
Good night.